can't record the screen, but I can take notes.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I'm ready. I'm sure he'll take a couple minutes before he really gets into his performance. Okay. Yeah, I just gotta take my mask off. Just close the door. Oops.
Back to okay. Different, I don't really regulate, but they did. We're going to go over some of the emails that you sent me since yesterday, and was sent me today as well. Okay. Before we do that, there's two kind of guidelines I want to explain when we're here today, and I also want to get you just to get some general information from you as well in regards to the things that have been going on. Like I said, a lot of you, my name's Dan. You can just call me Dan over here. Is it okay if I call you Jonathan, or that's for? That's fine. Okay. Perfect. Like I said, the room is being audio video recorded. Okay, that's just so that I don't have to sit here and take notes the entire time. Okay. It just makes it a lot easier that I have it all on recording. And if there are criminal charges that result from this, then it's best if we have it all recorded and it's on camera. Telephone kind of communication that happens. You and I are in this room, of course, but I also have a partner in not this next room, but there's a room so one over from that. Okay. And she's there taking notes as well. Okay. Again, just so that I don't forget to ask you anything and I don't forget anything that you and I talked about. I might step out once in a while and just ask her a few questions. Okay. If you forgot to ask anything. So I want to make sure we can try to get it all today, if at all possible. Okay. Aside from that, a few other guidelines, pretty straightforward though, is if I say something that you don't understand, I don't want you to be shy, tell me. Okay. I'll reword it, rephrase it, wherever the case might be. Okay. Similarly, if I say something and it's wrong or somewhat wrong, or whatever the case might be, again, don't be shy, correct me and let me know. And if you don't know something, don't guess. I mean, if you have an approximate idea and you want to qualify it, by all means do that. But if you're just completely unsure of something, again, just say so. I don't know, I don't remember, whatever the case might be. And probably the most important thing I ask is just tell the truth. You can come in here and lie to me, but I always tell everybody, doesn't matter how old they are or who they are, tell the truth. I'll tell the 5-year-olds, I know what to do, 4-year-olds, and all the way up. And what I mean by that is more than simply just lying. It also includes omitting information. Sometimes people feel the need to change it a little bit because it might make them look at it a little bit worse. I don't care. At the end of the day, I'm not here to judge. Tell it like it is. Tell it like it happened. And beyond that, there's pretty much nothing
Be
else.
honest.
So if you have any questions
Good luck
about that?
No, really. How long is it going to take? Because
I'm hoping not.
I need to be back at my sister's at 2. Okay. Like close to 2:30.
Okay. We'll try to be as expeditious as possible. I'm hoping it doesn't take that long. But we'll see. If we have to reconvene, we'll get the important stuff out of the way now, and then we'll have to maybe reconvene. But or we'll just get where we can today and then reconvene at a later time, whatever that may be. Okay. So just if you want to keep an eye on the time and let me know when you think you need to get closer to leaving. If you can stretch it at all, if we're not going to tell you, that's great. But
she can't be left alone right now.
Okay, that's your little girl. Yeah. Okay. So we're going to talk about what's been going on between you and your ex. Is it Deidre or? Deidre. I saw a few emails that said Andy, or I guess that's a pen name of some sort, or?
She's changed her name.
Okay. That's not illegal, is that legal, or is it just,
It's changed a few times now. Okay. In the past few months.
Okay. So, I'm aware of, the incident that happened on the 27th of June, but from speaking to you on the phone and from the report, there's been a few other incidents that have happened since that date. So what I get you to do is just explain to me what happened since the 27th of June.
So on the, to explain what happened on the 27th?
Since the 27th. So like that's been addressed in a sense. So anything that's happened following that.
So to post the 27th, I believe it was a Wednesday. So she was arrested.
Okay.
And then I think she was released on the Thursday morning.
Okay.
On the Friday, she was communicating to me through emails, through texts, through her LinkedIn post, that she was spending the weekend in Toronto.
Okay.
I believe it was Canada Day. So she took a train from Ottawa to Toronto.
Right.
And she got thrown off the train in Kingston.
Okay.
From there, she traveled throughout the U.S. for the next 2.5 weeks.
Okay.
So in those 2.5 weeks, my kids were okay because I would tell them that Mom's not in Ottawa, Mom's not in Canada, she's back in the United States. She was in the United States throughout, April, May, June. So their stress and anxiety level diminishes a lot when they know she's not around and that the potential for conflict is not present. So I guess now it's probably about a week and a half ago, 2 weeks.
Okay.
She arrives back into Ottawa. And I guess on top of all this is within this restraining order, she can there's the limits on her being within proximity to the house and the school.
Right.
But also she can only speak to the kids under CAS supervision.
Okay.
Supervised CAS access.
Okay.
About 6 or 7 weeks ago, there was a visit scheduled.
Okay.
She arrived at the CAS's office about an hour and a half, 2 hours before, started videotaping people and license plates and causing a disturbance.
Right.
The police were eventually called. I did show up with the kids at the scheduled time, about 5 o'clock, and I had a conversation with the supervisor where she was describing what was happening earlier and that she had her phone with her.
Okay.
And I said I wasn't comfortable having my 2 kids go into an interview with her where the kids potentially were going to be audio and videotaped and then have that information spread across social media. Oh, they went to her and explained that she was not allowed to have her phone in the interview room, and she refused.
Okay.
So there was no visit with the kids.
Okay.
But the consequence, she has not really seen these kids now since the first week of February, when the CAS took the kids away from her.
Okay.
It's been over 5 months.
Okay.
And so she comes back into Ottawa 2 weeks ago, 2.5 weeks ago. She hasn't seen the kids. The CAS now have told her, no, you're done. You're not getting another opportunity to see these kids right now anyways, because you didn't cooperate and you didn't follow the rules when we tried to schedule a meeting with you the first time.
Right.
So now at this point, she's got no opportunities other than essentially trying to break the order and see the kids at the house. I mean, every day I get 6, 8, 10, 12 emails of various, with various things in it. Up until 48 hours ago, she was posting articles and videos on LinkedIn. The LinkedIn account is gone. I think it's possible that all the videos of Sean and Cate and interviews where she's having confrontations with people, CAS and Rail, I think they've been all now taken down off of YouTube.
No, they haven't. They haven't at all.
They're
all still there.
Despite the illness, she does love her kids, and she wants to see her kids. In her mind, she's protecting the kids from me.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So she goes and she, you know, and so starting on the Friday, whatever that date is,
Okay.
she breaches the order.
Okay.
She breaches the order the Friday night. She breaches the order the Saturday night.
Okay.
On I think it's the Sunday, I get an email from a neighbor one street over saying she was over at their place and she left packages for them.
Okay.
So I got those packages on the Sunday.
Okay.
So that
Teddy
was,
bears.
you know, that was last weekend.
Okay.
And then, you know, and then again now this morning.
Okay.
The order was breached, the police were there, my friend that was in the house has given a statement to the police. I mean, all this just creates incredible anxiety with my two kids. I mean, they love mom. They've gone through this a long time. You know, they're 13 and 11, and they're really starting to develop an appreciation that, you know, it's not really mom. You know, the mom that I married and their mom isn't the person that are doing these things and getting into trouble and making them scared. But you know, at some point, enough's enough. And we have to try to lead a normal life. And this isn't normal.
No.
No, it isn't, is it? We don't have any.
I'd like to talk to you a bit about those breaches. One thing I wanted to mention, I didn't mention at the beginning, it's not sure which way this will go yet as far as criminal charges or not. But if this ends up going down a route where it's domestic in nature, meaning it's like sort of considered domestic violence, then we're obligated to by the province once we have enough information to lay charges. But if it's not, if we view it as not domestic in nature, then we have that, we basically have some discretion in deciding whether or not charges are laid or not. The reason I say that is because when you give the statement, you have to do so knowing that it's voluntary, and that if it does become domestic in nature, then we are obligated to, regardless of your wishes, to proceed with criminal charges. And I don't want to dissuade you from giving a statement. I want to hear what you have to say, and I want to follow through with this. But you have to do so knowing that that's a possibility as well. So I just wanted to explain that to you before we get more into the nitty-gritty of it, if you want to get into the nitty-gritty of it. So, are you okay with continuing on?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, of course he is. He loves the criminal charges.
So she stopped having contact with kids in around February. I saw that the order was granted in April of 2019. The restraining order, I think.
I think in March.
Okay.
February.
First week of March.
Okay.
Because they told her at the time when they took the kids,
Okay.
like not to go to the house.
Okay.
So she was coming to the house and going to the school.
Right.
And it's,
But there was no conditions.
But there was no restraining order.
Right.
So finally, it was okay. Enough's enough. By the time they were going back to child protection court, they also implemented the restraining orders as part of the temporary sole custody for my behalf.
Okay. So from the time she's been issued the restraining order up until it seems like June, there seems to be a bit of a reprieve there. Like there isn't much going on. Is there a reason for that, or can you attribute that to anything?
She wasn't here.
Okay. She's just as simple as that.
She was. When was it?
Make it all
So
up.
after
Look at him.
she was here for the orders. So about early March,
Right.
she leaves Ottawa,
Mm.
and at first she ends up in Quebec City, and then ends up in Valleyfield,
Right.
and that's where she's arrested.
Okay.
I'm still not clear as to whether it's the RCMP or it was the Quebec Provincial Police. Anyways, she's driving 4 in the morning. They want her to stop. She doesn't stop. She's ended up charged with, I think it's in section 307, failing to stop for an officer.
Okay.
She goes to Valleyfield Court, and right away they send her for a 21-day psychiatric evaluation in the Surratt Montreal Psychiatric Ward. So she's incarcerated.
Right.
She's in the hospital. She gets out, and she's in prison. She's in the Laval prison for 4 or 5 weeks leading up to her trial. So that's early March. That's March. That's April. Middle of April. End of April. So you got 2 months where she's not here and not able to communicate.
False. I called,
with me or
wanted to speak to the kids.
anyone.
Your sister sent me a care package. Apparently Cate helped put it
The
together.
trial happens and she's found not guilty.
Okay.
Out she comes, and then that's when she starts traveling through the United States.
I see. Okay.
She ends up in Texas, she ends up in California, she's in Mexico, she flies to the United Kingdom, she's in London, she's outside of London, she flies to Moscow, she's in Moscow for a day and a half, comes all the way back, and I think she's going to come into New York. No, she goes right back out to the West Coast,
Okay.
and then starts driving back across Canada,
Okay.
enters back into Canada, again, say sometime early June,
Okay.
and then, and then there's the lead up to having the visit with the CAS. That doesn't happen, and then it's back traveling through the U.S. on train.
Okay.
To answer the question, the gap is there because she's just not in the country.
Okay. All right. That's good to know. I wasn't aware of that, so that explains a lot. So June 27th happens. After that, you said she leaves again for another few weeks, and then comes back. And then, so your next contact there, you said was on a Friday. Am I correct? Or what?
When she breached the order.
Okay. Do you guys, I guess I should ask before we get into that, do you guys maintain communication throughout this whole process? Like, I mean, maybe not when she's incarcerated, but generally, do you guys communicate?
I don't communicate back with her any longer.
Okay.
I mean, I'll get the 68 emails and the texts. There's no, the kids are in my care, they're in my custody. I have a lawyer to deal with family court matters. There's no point in trying to have a conversation with the woman.
Okay. And so then on that Friday when she breaches, tell me what happens on that day.
Friday.
Or do you know what day it was?
Yeah, no, it's a Friday. It's a Friday, Saturday.
Okay.
It's getting fuzzy in my head now too.
It's hard to keep all lies straight, huh?
Saturday is when Sean Cunningham shows up, the Constable Sean Cunningham. They're called. The taxi showed up. Banging on the door, screaming.
This is Saturday?
This is the Saturday.
Okay.
It's just Sean and I at home.
Okay.
Cate's at a cottage. Sean realizes that she's there first, comes to me immediately. We go into my bedroom. We stay in my bedroom. We don't engage. And I call 911.
Okay.
Talk to the 911 operator. Finish the call with the operator. The police are coming, but by the time the police come, she's gone.
Okay.
Now when he's in a taxi, when when the taxi leaves the first time, it comes back a few minutes later.
Okay.
And again, we just think it's we think she's still in the cab, but
Right.
it's just the taxi cab driver delivering some packages for the kids.
Okay. This was on the Saturday?
That's the Saturday.
Okay.
Now, on the Friday,
If I can ask just about Saturday,
Yeah.
and then we can, I guess,
Yeah.
focus on Saturday, since you brought it up, I guess it's
Yeah.
a little bit more natural. So she shows up around what time?
so on the Saturday, Sean and I went to see Superman at Lansdowne, and we didn't get home until probably close to 9:30.
Okay.
So she doesn't show up until about 9:45 or so. It's late, you know.
Yeah.
We've been up to the movies, long day, just relaxing, so it was startling.
Yeah.
Because she was there, but also just because it was a little later in the day.
Mm-hmm. So she's there at fairly late, and how do you come to realize that she's there?
Well, and again, in this particular instance, I
Yeah.
think it's my son that realizes she's there. We have, I think on the Saturday, we have a large, in fact, her dog.
Okay.
The dog starts barking.
Yeah, you have my dog.
And,
You stole my dog.
Just to see what he's barking at.
Right.
And his mom at the door.
Okay. And what was she doing while at the door?
I didn't have a visual look to see what she's doing at
Okay.
the door. Sean comes to me. I was in my bedroom at the time, so when he comes, I call 911 and we just stay in the bedroom and look out the bedroom window
Okay.
and don't engage and don't talk to her.
Okay. Was she saying anything at the time?
She's screaming, she's yelling.
Okay.
I can't recall what it was that she would have been saying.
Mm.
Probably saying something nasty about me.
Mm. Okay.
But the bedroom is far back in the house, and she's outside, so I don't have an exact frame,
Okay. What drove you to stay in the bedroom with Sean?
Well, that's part of the safety plan that has been built out in cooperation with the CAS.
Okay.
It's obviously make sure the doors are locked, don't engage, and it's keeping really as safe of a distance away from her as possible. Trying to keep my son away from seeing her. And trying to be safe.
Okay. Now, talk to me about, how long was she there on Saturday?
On Saturday, again, not probably less time than the first night. It might have been, 4 to 5 minutes.
Okay.
And then gone, and then so the taxi goes, and then the taxi comes back and has the packages.
Okay. And then on Friday, what happens Friday?
So Friday it's earlier.
Okay.
I get email messages, I don't know, around 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock. I can check to see the exact time, asking me to send her pictures of the house.
Right.
Because she has the house up for sale on Kijiji.
Okay.
Like
the house you guys are living in right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
She doesn't own the house. We
Okay.
both still own it. So
Okay.
she really can't get people up for sale.
Okay.
So like 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock, and 8 o'clock, 8:30, a yellow cab shows up. So my son is sitting in the kitchen playing computer games, and Mom's in the backyard. She's taking pictures of the house in the backyard. So again, right away he comes to me. We go in same logistics. We go into the bedroom. We call 911. There's screaming, yelling, pounding at the door, banging on the glass, ringing the doorbell. That goes on longer, I think, the first time than the second time. So maybe seven minutes. Cab leaves, and then cab driver comes back with 2 bags and leaves the bags. It's a yellow cab
Okay.
with writing on it. So
Okay.
my son reads the writing on the yellow cab. Ottawa doesn't have any yellow cabs with advertising on it.
Okay.
We looked Saturday morning, I Googled Saturday morning the name of the place, and it's a restaurant in Niagara Falls.
Okay.
And so sure enough, Niagara Falls had yellow cabs. She probably took a cab from Niagara Falls to Ottawa.
Okay. All right.
So, I mean, the police wanted to, were thinking at the time that they were going to track the cab driver down, and they made calls to cab companies to try to find her, but not going to find
Okay. No. Okay, and how long did she stay there?
Again, same thing.
Okay.
It's like 7 minutes. All leave. Cab driver comes back, leaves the packages, and then goes.
Okay. Now, from that day, and then Sunday, you said you got a call from your neighbor?
So Sunday I got an email from my neighbor saying she was over at their house. I mean, is it within the 500 meters? I don't know. It's pretty close.
Okay.
That she dropped 2 packages off.
Okay.
So I walked over with the dogs and just, leave the packages. I'll get them next week. And walk back to the house.
Okay.
So obviously, it's Friday, it's Saturday, it's Sunday, on a high alert every day this week, because not sure when she's going to show up or not.
Okay. Do you know the house number of that where she dropped the gifts off?
It's Lampman Crescent. I don't know. I'd have to check that.
Okay. So there was that, and then between that date and today, I know today you guys, she came over as well, but between those 2 dates, was there anything else that happened? Was there any communication between you two, or?
Again, texts, emails. She called last night, and I was sleeping, and that's when she left she started talking about firing squads and death penalties, and so she did that with me. That text was from a family friend, who received the same message. My sister received the message, and there was...
This is the text message she sent you?
This is an audio. So... This was from my sister just gave this to me before coming. Just want to let you know that I truly hope that they bring back the death penalty for people. I think they should, for you people. I think they should line you all up, and it should be by firing squad. There are so many of you, so I something against there are so many of you. I'm actually against the death penalty because I think a lot of people are falsely imprisoned. But when it comes to you people, you and your brother and what the CAS are up to, I really hope that they decide to bring it back.
Okay.
So
that was to your sister?
That was to my sister last night. It was voice recording.
Okay.
I did receive a call from her last night.
Okay.
And that was I was kind of half asleep. That was the gist of the message.
Okay.
And a similar message was left with family friends.
Okay.
And I asked the woman if she felt threatened, and she said, indirectly. And I said, would you be willing to make a statement to the police, because I told her I was coming here today, and she said yes.
Okay. So I'll make sure to get your sister's information and her information before we leave, not in this room, but we can discuss that outside.
Okay.
So when you got the call, what time was it? And did you answer it, or was it you went to voicemail?
No, I answered it.
Oh, okay.
6:09.
Okay. And yesterday, last night?
Yeah.
Okay. And did you get any other calls from her last night?
No, just that, and like six to seven emails from whatever, 1 o'clock through 4 or 5 in the morning.
Okay. Can you receive emails on your phone? I'm assuming, but never know. So today, tell me what happened today.
So today, yesterday the kids biked to their summer school, which is on Fisher Avenue.
Okay.
Now I knew that she was going to court today, and it was at 100 Constellation at Center Point, and I wanted them to bike today. I wanted them to bike again today. I felt it was too risky, because if her court was at 9 in the morning, if she was done court, that there was a good chance that she might come to the house. So organized it with my sister that I would drop them off, go to work, and she would pick them up at 11:30. So I went to work. I was in a meeting. I got a text from my buddy at 10:10, where he said, "Call 911, Dee is here."
Okay.
So I called 911 at 10:10, 10:11.
Okay.
I wasn't sure what to do at that point, if I should just stay at work. I called a neighbor 2 or 3 houses over, and he walked over to the house. So he saw her. I was on the phone with him. He was speaking to her for maybe a minute, a couple of minutes, and I told him to be careful. And then he walked back to the house. So at that point, I decided I better go home. So I left work maybe at 10:20, 10:25, and then went to the house.
Okay.
The police were still not there. So at that point, I drove to where the kids were at school. I was there by 11, and I waited for them to get out at 11:30.
Okay.
So when they got out at 11:30, we went, I got something to eat, and then I brought them.
Okay. So how did this behavior make you feel?
We're hostages within our own homes.
Okay.
I mean, my kids don't want to go outside. My kids don't want to walk the dog. It's summertime. I want my kids to be on the bike driving to the pool. And they ask me, "Hey, Pops, what happens if Mom, what are we going to do if Mom's there?" And they're anxious. They're worried.
Okay.
Cate said that she would like Mom to stay in Texas for a long time. I mean, it's historically, it's my daughter that I think understood Mom's illness very well early on, whereas my son, it's taken a longer time for him to accept what's gone on within the family. Okay. But because of these recent events, he's kind of shifted to understanding that, probably for both of them, understanding that Mom's really not well, and that they're probably never going to go back and live with Mom, and that they're probably going to, be living. The three of us will be living together.
Okay. So the kids are worried, and what about yourself?
Oh, I'm constantly engaged with the police, with the CAS, with my lawyer, with the Office of the Children's Lawyer. I'm doing safety planning. People go to work and they talk about, right? Did you watch the football game on Sunday? And, I just can't relate to that anymore. Because my life is just, it's twisted. It's a 3-ring circus. And after a while, when even though I don't respond to the communication, I've been at this now for 6.5 years, 7 years. It's hard. you know.
You tell me.
It really starts to get to you after a while.
I can only imagine, especially over that long period of time.
Not even human.
It's a lot to handle.
Just.
You know, I'm working,
Yep.
I keep it get socialized, I keep it as normal as I can, but, you know, at some point, it takes its toll.
No, and that's completely understandable.
Oh, are you gonna start crying now? Come on,
understandably,
do that again.
it's
You're so good
affecting
at
your
it.
life. What is the concern, if you were to engage with Deirdre, or if the kids were to engage with Deirdre, what's the concerns?
Well, she's in effect kidnapped them twice.
Right.
In fact, I have not kidnapped them.
Thanksgiving of 2015.
You kidnapped.
Okay.
And then most recently kidnapped them in January of 2019.
Okay.
My daughter was held basically hostage in a bathroom for a day and a half.
Okay.
False.
Like screaming half the time that she wanted to go home.
Okay.
The police couldn't convince her, the CAS couldn't convince her, her parents couldn't convince her, and it was all because she was in a delusional state, thinking that I was going to take the kids out of the country.
Okay.
And all I was doing was trying to take Sean for his first spinning class.
Okay.
So and over the last 2 or 3 months when she was in the United States, there's dozens and dozens of references of her asking me to get passports, that she's saying that she's going to take them to, that they're going to live in the United States, she's going to take them to the United States. So it's you know, in some ways it's not the concern necessarily that she's going to hurt them physically, but I always say when, you know, if the person is in a very, very deep psychotic state, you don't know what the person can do, but certainly you know, a very real risk that's obviously happened twice, that she takes the kids. And
Hello, Deirdre Moore speaking.
once she has the kids.
Hi, good morning, Ms. Moore. This is Tanashi from the Court of Appeal.
Super. Okay, I'm in the
Are
middle
you
of.
able to speak right now, or should I call? I can call you back.
Yeah, would you mind calling me back in about about an hour, I guess?
Yeah, of course, no problem.
Sorry, thank you so much.
No problem. Have a
Bye-bye.
good day.
Thanks.
You know, the whole process of trying to get them back, you don't know what can happen.
No, for sure.
And then more and more, I'm getting more concerned about my own physical safety, because in the next couple of weeks, you know, the CAS is going to be putting forth documentation that will make it clear to her that it's either going to be the CAS or through the family courts that we're going to be seeking full and permanent custody on my behalf.
Okay.
And I'm very worried about how she's going to react to that.
Okay.
So, right, I mean, it escalates and escalates and escalates until something, you know, where does it end?
Right. Are you aware of what her mental health issues are? If any? I mean, I think it's obvious, but are you aware of?
Yes.
Do you know specifics about any of her mental health issues?
So she's been diagnosed with bipolar, with psychotic features,
Okay.
schizoaffective, psychosis not otherwise specified. She, irrespective of the label, you know, suffers from paranoia, suffers from delusions.
Okay.
Back in December, when there seemed to be a moment of lucidity, December 2018, I took her to the hospital, and she had told me at the time that she was, she was seeing license plates with, like she's doing anagrams with license plates, and one of them was coffin.
Okay.
She was talking to my mom, who'd been passed away for a number of years, and I asked her if she was hearing voices, and she said yes.
False.
She would dispute it now.
Yeah.
At the time, so it's persecution. It's the delusional thinking. it's the disconnected thinking, irrational thinking. A, B, C, D, there's no connection to it, but she makes the connection where, right, I'm trying to organize Sean to go for a spinning class. No, in her mind now, all of a sudden she makes these connections to, aha, he's trying to take the kids out of the country. So, I mean, you know, it's a lot of the, you know, schizoaffective, schizophrenia, but yet, you know, it's, you could talk to her for a period of time and you would not know that there's anything.
Yeah, because there isn't.
She presents very well at times.
Presents very
but
well.
Certainly in the early days, made it difficult to, you know, try to get her hospitalized. I mean, at this point now,
got
she's
myself to
been
the hospital every time but once.
hospitalized probably 12, 15 times. Has never been on a full treatment plan. And you know, I firmly believe that part of her illness is such that she just doesn't believe that she's ill. And it's not funny denial. It's just they're particularly with schizophrenia. Often, I think somebody said, you know, once said 50% of people with schizophrenia, they just don't think they're sick, and that's you know, I think that's where she lies.
All right.
She doesn't lie. She doesn't lie, Kiska. You're the liar.
I'll make sure I didn't forget anything, and then if we have time, we'll go over the videos and the documents you sent me. If not, we can always drift that later. I'll just make sure it's covered in main things.
Thank you.
Okay. There's only a question in regards to that. We'll just quickly go through the video. I'm not going to get you to explain absolutely everything in the video. Basically, what I'm looking for is just a brief. I know you gave me kind of a synopsis of what you sent, which is great. It's just to get it here on the record, you know, brief. This is what this is, it kind of, and then this is where I got it, or something like that. So we won't spend a whole lot of time on that, and then we'll let you get going shortly. And I'll just quickly, once we're done here and we step out of the room, I'll just go over a few safety things with you and going forward, and what the next kind of steps look like. They're not like chairs. I don't think somebody's going to steal them, or... so I'll just kind of go through... so this, can you tell me what this is, just briefly?
It's from her LinkedIn account.
Okay.
I wanted to send it to you just to illustrate that she's, you know, verbally communicating. She's going to disobey the restraining order.
Right, okay. Do you know when she posted this? And it's not on there, that's what I'm asking.
It would be within the last 3 weeks.
Okay. Okay. And I'm assuming you have access to her LinkedIn, that's how you found this, or is there another, or did somebody bring you bring your attention to this, or? Okay. And this is?
So this is recent, again, from her LinkedIn account, but I also think she's been emailing it out to various people. Images of Sean and Cate. And it's there's some rally in Ottawa and Toronto.
Okay. Keep going, sir.
Where, as you can see, her tagline is "March Against the Systematic Destruction of the Family."
Okay.
And it sickens me to see images of Sean and Cate with that kind of messaging on social media, because I don't know how long that type of information could circulate on the internet.
So I'm just gonna, as we go through this, I apologize, I'm just gonna label them so that when we're watching the recording it makes sense.
Yeah.
So the very first image I showed you will be image number 1.
Okay.
And then, once my computer stops reading, second image is going to be number 2, which is the one you just described with the images of Sean and Cate. So image number 3.
So this was sent back before.
Sorry, I can zoom in here.
No, not a big deal. Let's just. I think after she got out of prison.
Okay.
After I was fully acquitted for a false
April,
improper arrest.
May have been back for a day or
Okay.
so. But I sent it to you because she's saying that John Kiska and his friends were passing around a book written by Neil Young, and it was providing them instructions on how to organize some sort of terrorist attack.
Okay. Okay.
That was 2014, by the way.
Complete.
That was
Okay. And this was
2019.
sent to
Making it up.
Or
No, I think that was just a
title.
tag.
Okay. So that's image number 3 is the one that says.
I think that's an email.
Okay. Greg and Nicolette.
Oh, actually, it's probably a text.
Okay.
That's the text number. That's the phone number.
Okay. Next will be number 4, which has the heading #Andy on it.
Yeah, her new name. And it's odd because this was back in December, where there was 3 or 4 days of what I thought was lucid thinking, where she wanted help.
Okay.
But she now writes it, and it's kind of reverse. She says, now she's got the date, it wasn't January, it was December, that I slipped into the psychosis, which my ex-husband fully exploited to get me to say things to my children. Your dad is a good man, I am mentally ill. And to physicians, I have heard voices in my head that were not true, she says, and that I even tried to convince her to kill myself.
Okay.
Which you did, you beast.
For image number 5.
Okay, this is now, it's been out there probably for about 3 or 4 weeks, images of Sean and Cate with the idea that I'm paying the CAS to.
I think they're doing it for free, actually. They'll be
have the kids with me.
Okay. So this is a screen capture with a time of 11 a.m. and 61% battery. Just so I know what I'm looking at. Something to characterize what I'm looking at, so it makes sense in my head later on. Number 6.
Okay, so right, in terms of how I feel, well, she's constantly throughout May, June, end of April, saying that she's going to be taking the kids to the U.S.
Okay.
And will I get the kids' passports done?
Okay, so this is
I thought you were gonna be arrested by then, that's all.
in regards to getting the passports.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
waiting for the day you're gonna be
So that's
arrested.
number 6.
And get them back and off we go.
How did I know it was gonna take this long? I didn't know we were supposed to take out judges.
So this was the text that
boy.
Cate was sending me back in June when Mom was at the door.
Oh, okay. Okay.
You
So
probably
this is June
sent it
27th?
yourself.
Okay. So image
One of
number
your other
7,
devices.
text from Cate to you, June 27th. Number 8.
Just more passports.
Okay, so the second image number 8, dated Tuesday, June 25th, 10:27 p.m. text message from her to you, talking about a music festival and getting passwords. Number 8. I think these are all duplicate images. Yeah, so we're not talking about that. That we talked about. That was.
He still wears a wedding ring through all this.
This was this morning.
Or he did that day. That's so crazy. Good Lord, get the freaking wedding ring off your finger. You beast.
That from, I'm assuming from Melanie. You sent it to me.
Scroll up.
That's it. Okay.
Oh, I think there was, look, that's the, because that's the one I got for
Unless it's part,
It looks like it's.
it could be,
still,
yeah, because I got a few. It could have came in with the.
Because that one, I just got that one this morning through the email.
Okay, I do have the email, so let's go through the PDF then. The other ones don't work. So this is titled Another Evening of Exposing Corruption in Ottawa, Ontario, Canada by Andy White. You said that was her new names of sorts?
One of there's also been Deirdre White.
Okay.
And a few things.
So what's her legal name?
Deirdre Moore.
Deirdre Moore?
Deirdre Moore.
Okay.
Yeah, just, summary of what she's thinking and what she's doing. And
where did these comes from, these summaries, or these articles?
They were posted on LinkedIn,
Okay.
but also I think she had been PDFing them out to a number of people.
Okay.
In the last 6 weeks, she's been emailing Jim Watson
Okay.
and all the City of Ottawa councillors with these summary types of information.
Right. And then this vaping fuel article, again written by her on July 22nd, 2019.
Just LinkedIn.
Okay. I think this is just a compilation of emails that you had sent me. So these are emails.
Yeah, of course I calling this serial killer.
Okay. So those are emails that she had sent you.
Yeah.
This is again a compilation of the emails she had sent.
Yeah, just again, read like these are.
This is where you were. Okay.
Yeah, right. So this is that. Well, the punishable by your crimes are punishable by death. So that's the tone of the voice mail that was left my sister in the calls with my friend and myself.
Okay, there's another LinkedIn article. CS being paid by my son.
Other images.
Okay.
About Sean and Cate.
Okay, so that's them.
Yeah.
Okay. LinkedIn article again. Preparation for my defense for violating CS constructed restraining order. This is her name.
That was the citizen's arrest information against her psychiatrist in Montreal.
Okay, and how did you get this?
Emailed it to me.
Okay.
Either emailed or
Okay.
on LinkedIn.
Safety and musical, same thing.
Yeah, just LinkedIn.
Okay, this was the email you sent me this earlier. There's another image. Yeah, what is this?
That's Mohammed Said.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
That was me when I was talking to the police.
Oh, I
The
see.
day she got arrested.
Yeah, I saw that video on YouTube. Okay. So that was the day she got arrested? Okay. And then Mohammed Said, my understanding is that's the CS worker?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that gives me some context. Is there a reason why there's, she sent this, or is it just arbitrary set the images of you guys? Yeah, okay. Okay, I think that's all of them. Yeah. Okay, perfect. So that's,
There's like hundreds and
Yeah.
hundreds and hundreds of emails that I have of that.
okay.
Of that nature.
Right.
What are the emails just they're nonsensical, they don't make, they don't make sense.
Okay.
It makes tons of sense.
Do you have any questions? Like most of it, I'll explain a few things
Especially
outside,
now.
which are probably more relevant. But do you have any questions about anything that we discussed here today?
No.
Okay. What we'll do is we'll just step out, and I'll just kind of go over a few things with you.
You're Detective Gervais. They must have gone deep undercover. I can't believe he's gonna go down for this. He's real and savage at this point. Can't believe he would sign up for that. He's just duped, that's all.